Should you sell on Amazon in the US? What about the competition? What about the risk? What about the cost? What about the investment needed to sell on Amazon in the US? Is it actually worth it? Well, if you are currently selling on Amazon in the Middle East or other smaller Amazon marketplaces, and your ultimate vision is to expand to the #1 e-commerce marketplace in the world, Amazon US, this video is for you. In this video, I'm talking to Kimberlee from Zonguru. We're gonna be giving you the actionable steps for you to follow in order to get started on Amazon in the US. We also have a free downloadable ebook that you can download. You need to keep watching till the end of the video so I show you how you are able to download the free ebook. The ebook will provide you with all of the information that you need in order to get started. So with that, let's get started. Welcome to Power Your E-commerce Business, the go-to series for busy entrepreneurs like you. Product research, sales, marketing, branding, shipping and logistics. We share knowledge and information every week from top experts serving the MENA region to help you power your e-commerce business. So Kimberlee, thank you so much. I'm so excited about today's video. As you know, you're going to introduce yourself in a few minutes, but as you know, Amazon is an amazing opportunity for so many sellers. And the amazing part is a lot of people are able to expand using the Amazon platform. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. But before we dive in, first of all, thank you so much for your time. And thank you to Zonguru and the whole team for working on this video and concept with me. So explain a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, as well as, Zonguru for those that don't know.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me here today. It's awesome. I am an Amazon seller in the US and Australia. I started selling back in 2018. I'm an accountant during my day job, and that 9 to 5 and trading your time for money was really, I thought there's got to be a better way. And Amazon really created that pathway for me. So, you make money 7 days a week, you're not trading your time anymore. There's no ceiling to what you can earn. And I love it because, once you've mastered one marketplace, it becomes very easy to leverage that network and move into other markets around the world, leverage that Amazon network. And through my sales and my business, I found Zonguru, and Zonguru is that seller's toolkit. It's really hard to get the data you need and do it all on your own and optimize your listings without those insights, because that data really does create that pathway for you. It really makes it clear, make sure that you're ranking where you need to. And I found my dream job with working with Zonguru. We're a team of sellers. So now I'm not only a seller, but I'm surrounded by other sellers every day. So it's just making my own business better and better and grow each day. So I'm really thrilled to be able to share a little bit of my personal story, but also how the tools can help other sellers wanting to expand as well. For sure.
I believe Amazon and entrepreneurship in general is just so addictive. Like you start. It
really is.
Yeah. So once you start and you get over the hump and you understand how the whole business works and you're able to make it successful, now you just want to technically just rinse and repeat and do it again and again. And you feel, just like you said, there's no limit. So I might as well just expand to other marketplaces. And this is especially true when you are selling in markets such as the Middle East, Australia, the smaller or newer marketplaces for Amazon that just don't have the huge traffic that the main marketplace like the US or maybe a few marketplaces in Europe have. So naturally, we find that is something that people want to aspire to, and they should. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I want to use an analogy that you mentioned to me last week, and that's, you've already learnt to drive in a Toyota. It's time to move to the Ferrari now. And I think that's perfect, because if you're already selling in the Middle East or European markets or Australia or wherever it is, you understand how it works. It is that rinse and repeat. It makes it very easy to expand into new regions. And I know Amazon can get a bit of a bad rap for being unhelpful sometimes, but honestly, they are hands down the best business partner you could ever wish for. You know, overseas sellers can leverage that Amazon network and use FBA to overcome, you know, those traditional roadblocks that other e-commerce sellers would face without it. They're really, you know, once you've understand the process, it is not a steep learning curve to jump into a new market. It might sound a bit daunting, but with the right information, the right data, and the right steps, it's actually pretty easy. So it's exciting. But
it is,
I guess, yeah, the big question for a lot of people is, which marketplace do I go to?
Exactly.
That's the next thing they ask. And, you know, you've touched on it, that the USA is what a lot of people aspire to. And I think that's brilliant, because it is the most well-established Amazon marketplace in the world. Like, some of the stats for the US just blow my mind. I have to keep rereading them because I'm like, those numbers can't be real. There's something like 213 million unique visitors a month, which I'm from Australia. Those numbers just don't add up in my mind. We don't have that sort of population. And the benefit of the US, and I think this is missed on a lot of people, is once you're in that USA market, you can use the remote fulfillment program to very easily expand into Mexico and Canada.
Yeah.
So with one move, you really are a global seller. You're covering 3 big marketplaces there. And the other thing I'm noticing about the US as well is that they're actively supporting those brands. They're trying to encourage quality brands onto their platform. So they've been releasing tons of new reports and tools to help these sellers. Like, I don't know if you know, but in the US now you can like email campaign target followers. Some of the things they're coming out with is really cool.
Yeah. And they're coming out with them in the US, and then they're either keeping them for the US market or they're expanding them to other marketplaces. But normally they are very slow in adapting these new programs in other marketplaces. So I guess it's because US is the biggest market, so it needs the most innovation just to stay on top.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, I want to be realistic here as well. I don't want anyone to just jump in without doing their due diligence. So it's working through those steps. And I think the biggest thing is, you know, working out, is your product the right fit for the US, that marketplace fit? So I thought today I could pick a case study product and walk through a couple of those steps, if that's cool.
Let's do that, of course.
Yeah.
We want to give as much information as possible, so we want to make it as clear as possible for everyone. So go ahead. Before we continue, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave us a comment in the comment section below if you have any question or just a simple comment. Keep watching the video till the end so you know exactly how to download the free 14-page guidebook that was created by Zonguru just for you.
Okay, so I've selected a cake stand. You can probably tell I was a bit hungry when I put this presentation together, but I picked this one because it had high reviews, which means it's a quality product. You want to be bringing quality into the marketplace. And to be honest, green's my favorite color. It caught my eye. That jumped off the page compared to, you know, the traditional white ones.
Yeah.
It just caught my eye.
It's very nice.
Yeah. So if this was my product, the first thing I would be doing is checking the niche metrics for the US. And there's a couple of things that I check. The main 4 I've put here. The first one is demand. You know, this is a big one. You want to know that people are actually searching for the product and that they're likely to buy it. Otherwise, you know, there's no point. The next one, it's assessing how strong the competition is. I look things here like, are they using A+ content? How optimized are their keywords? How long have they been around for? Do they know what they're doing? Obviously, I don't want to be going up against competitors that have been in the marketplace for 10 years with thousands of reviews. It's not ideal. The next one, obviously, how much money it's going to cost me to launch in this niche. You know, Amazon hates it when you run out of stock. So launching with enough inventory to last 3 months at that page 1 sales velocity would be my goal. And the 4th one is, you know, and it's the big one, how much revenue potential is there really here? How likely am I to make profit in this niche? it considers things like, what are the other sellers making, the average sales price, the sales velocity, that sort of thing. And this sounds quite complicated to calculate, to get that data on your own, but there's a really quick way to do it. And with Zonguru, we put this together in what we call a niche score. And I've got a view of it here. And it's basically a percentage score out of 100. The higher, the better for each of the categories. And at a glance, I can see, okay, this is looking really strong. I'm going to move forward with my research on this niche, or maybe I catch those red flags early. And the cool thing about it is the niche score works on the Chrome extension, which is actually it works in tandem with the Amazon search page. So I can jump out of this and actually show you exactly what it looks like. I've preloaded this. I'm on the Amazon.com search page. I've searched cake stand. We can see all the results here. And then down below, I'll just drop it down and I can expand it again. This is my Chrome extension, and you can see my niche score here, and then the 4 individual components that I just spoke about. So this is looking pretty strong to me. I can already see that 70% is well above. I usually look for 50 and above. So 70% is giving me a really good green light here. The search volume, that's the unique monthly searches per month for that search term. I don't know about you, but I'd love to get a slice.
Look at that number. It's insane.
It's crazy. The average price point is looking pretty healthy to me. Obviously, you don't want it too low. The star rating, there's room to do better. I'm loving the launch budget, but I can also get really granular and, order things from highest to lowest. I can see the biggest seller on the page is doing 75,000 a month. I could look at the price, I can filter, I can do all sorts of things here. So I know we don't have a lot of time today to go into detail, but already I'm getting a tick here that, this has got potential. I like what I'm seeing, but something that I see a lot of people get stuck on, and this is moving to step 2 of that market fit, is understanding the seasonality, because different hemispheres, different countries, different cultures, I could be looking at this at its peak demand, and I could be saying, let's go, not realizing that, it's not like this usually during the rest of the year. So I really want to see that full year view. So
makes perfect
what
sense.
So I'm just going to jump into another tool that we've got, and it's called Sales Spy. And it's really easy to set up a session. I just enter the ASN and I set the time period that I want to take a look at. So I've loaded just 4 that I saw on the Amazon US page for cake stands, and I've set it to 1 year, and you can see it's giving me averages, which is helpful. But something that I personally like to see is the visuals. Show me how it's been trending. I want to see that trend over time. So I can expand those. It's telling me when somebody started to sell, and then how they've sold, those estimates over time. So it's not only the revenue, but it's got BSR, the actual sales numbers there as well. And I can expand multiples. I can just keep going down and opening these up. So it's going to tell me if there's those big peaks and troughs, because I want that year-round seller. And although every seller is going to have highs and lows, what you're wanting to avoid is those really big spikes and then flatlining for the rest of the year. So the other thing that's just a side note with this is you can see when they've stocked out. Are they having issues with their supply chain? Are they participating in sales events? This one here, huge spike around that Black Friday. So you can see it tells a story. You can really get lost here with the detail, but it's this one here, relatively new seller. They only started in July last year. You can see they've slowly built momentum. They've built a pretty solid business. So again, lots of green flags for me with this one. If this was my product, I'd be, wanting to push ahead to step 3, which takes me, if I go back to my slides, and I think this is a really important one. I don't know how you feel about this, but differentiation. What makes your product stand out from the pack? It's really important. You've only got a couple of seconds to grab the buyer's attention. How are you going to get it? And I've just taken a snapshot of the 4 listings that appear on line 1 on that cake stand. First thing I want to point out is there's one there with 1 review that is quite similar to the products that I'm wanting to bring in, just a different color. So
just a different color, yeah.
That's quite positive for me in terms of that variation, because I think having 3 is a point of difference. People obviously like that there's the multiples. It looks visually beautiful to have it laid out like that. Yeah. I couldn't see any in that color. So I think those 2 points of difference, it's probably enough to get me noticed. Whether it's there might be something else that you can display, how it's packaged, the way it's assembled, something like that. You really want to hone in on how you're different to set yourself apart. But I think for our case study one, having the 3 options, having it green, it will stand out because in those few seconds. But that leads me to probably the most important step. We've given ticks all the way along. Yeah. The last one is, what is your profit potential? Really diving into the numbers and understanding that. And I know a lot of people, their eyes glaze over as soon as someone starts talking numbers. Yeah. We're all guilty of it. That's true. We want to know. We want to know those key, what's our return on investment? What's our net profit? And again, there is an easy way to do that. You don't need hundreds of Excel sheets. If I jump back in to our listing here, I've picked that black one because it's very similar to the product in terms of its probably its weight, its size, that sort of thing. So if I jump into the profit calculator, this is part of the Zonguru toolset. It just sits on top of the Amazon search page again. It's giving me all the metrics, all the fields that I would need to consider to work out my profit per unit, profit margin, and return on investment. But the cool thing is I can update this in real time. So if I was wanting to bring my product, my green cake set, but I wanted to sell it for a little bit more, maybe I knew that mine was a little bit heavier, I can update this. And if you're paying attention to the below figures, you'll notice that it's updating as I update my fields. And it's not just the basics. It goes into freight, duties and tariffs. You can even add on 3PL's costs, fulfillment fees. Like it just goes on and on, referral fees, even advertising costs. So it's making you think about each step of the journey, but in a way that's easy and it's all interactive. So, different selling categories come with extra costs. It's all there. You really want, and these are color coded. Green light. It means it's looking great. Orange, you'll notice if I play around with the figures, maybe I drop the price to something a little bit cheaper. These will update. It's gone red. Okay, hold up, we've got a problem. Knowing this before you go to the effort and the investment of bringing it into the new market is just crucial. So if you get to the stage where you've got green lights all the way and you're ready to go, there's still a few more things that you need to consider, but they're not overly difficult. It's opening that seller account. Yes. And that's a lot of people are intimidated by that, but it doesn't need to be. Amazon accepts sellers from all over the world. UAE residents can apply without any issues. You don't necessarily need an LLC if you don't want one. The next thing, and we spoke about this at the start, they're trying to support brands. So being brand registered is really helpful, but Amazon accepts UAE issued trademarks as well. So, I highly recommend getting a trademark in the US, but that's going to open the door to brand registry from the outset at least. And then you can work on that US trademark in the background. You want to be able to identify those local marketplace keywords. Every country has different nuances with language and terminology. There's tools that do that for you. We've got Keywords on Fire, which will find those keywords in a flash. And obviously communicating with your suppliers, your freight forwarders, getting that logistics network happening for you. But the hard part's done. You've got your product, it's a quality product, you've got your manufacturer. It's just filling in these little blanks. And I know I've run through all this at 1,000,000 miles an hour, but we've put together basically a step-by-step guidebook.
Yes.
To share with your audience that does cover these, all these extra steps, everything I've spoken about in detail. So it's all there to help, because, you know, I really want to take that guesswork out of the USA market, because it is that huge opportunity, that huge potential. Yeah. And then I thought, if anyone they go through those steps, they check out the guidebook and they're getting those green lights, if they are ready to get started, I wanted to offer an exclusive, I guess, package for your audience as well. So there's a special link here, and what it offers is a 7-day free trial to all the Zonguru tools, but they get also what we call a global niche expansion report. And this report's super cool, because what you do is you enter in an ASN for one of your products. The Zonguru team will get to work and actually deliver a report to you covering those key metrics that I ran through earlier. So we'll show you what the demand is like, not just in the US, but other global marketplaces. So you can really get a feel for. It's so cool. You know, you'd be surprised when you start delving into the data, what opportunities there are for your products. It's really exciting. So that's there. And of course, if anyone wants to say hi or chat, I'm support@zonguru.com as well. I'd love to hear how people are expanding and what adventures they go on with their seller journey.
We'll leave all of the information and all of the details in the description box of the video for sure. And it's just like an incredible opportunity for anyone that requires support, understanding whether their products are going to be successful in other marketplaces. You know, everything that we talked about showcases the fact that you can do it on your own. But if you need some additional support, that, you know, backup from experts that can help you, this is what we've created here.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Yeah, my last question before we wrap this up is, you know, we get a lot of people that watch the videos and follow the channel, and they consume a lot of content online, of course, that are maybe still on the fence with whether this is a legitimate business or not, whether they are able to leave their 9-to-5 job, become their own boss, and have this business, which is what happened to you, and it happened to me as well. So yes, it is something that can be done. But what do you think the current status of selling online post-pandemic, let's say, and on Amazon in particular?
Yes, I've noticed things have changed a lot in the last 6 months or so. And I think it's changed in a really positive way. There was this huge rush to e-commerce during the pandemic. And I feel like lately, a lot of the rubbish, not so great, bad quality sellers, they can't compete. And it's really making way for people who are creating solid brands with great products, who have put in the work to build up their offering, and to, you know, they're doing it right. They've got the longevity, and they're growing, and they're taking more of that market share, as the people who probably didn't do their research, didn't, you know, put in the right quality and effort, are moving off the platform. So I think it's a brilliant time. Look at the data, put in the effort, and create a quality product. And it's, the success is there.
It is. Thank you so much, Kimberlee.
No worries. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much to Kimberlee and the Zonguru team. In order to download the 14-page brand expansion guidebook that has been created just for you by the Zonguru team, all you need to do is subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video. If you want to leave us a comment or any question under the video, please go ahead and do so. Check the description box of this video. You'll find the link where you'll be able to download the free 14-page guide. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in another video with more information. Bye.